Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode here on Unscripted, live from the UFC headquarters here in Las Vegas. With me today, I've got a special guest, but before we get to him, I want to say a massive thank you to Solar Battery Group back home, helping so many Aussie families save thousands of dollars on their electricity bills. Listen, there's so many tired asses in rugby league that can really do with a solar battery in their homes. Me, for starters, I got mine installed, and you know what? It's great to see those dollars absolutely dwindling off the electricity bills. So thank you so much, guys. And if you do need a solar battery, please reach out to the guys at solarbatterygroup.com.au. I'm sure they'll help you out and give you a free quote. Right, our special guest today, Flano. How are you, mate?
Good, Joshy. How are you, mate?
Mate, very good, very good. I'm sure, obviously, being around rugby league, you come across a lot of tight asses. Who do you think needs some solar batteries in their home to save some money?
Paul Gallen.
Do you got to say that?
Paul Gallen. But he is. He is one of the tightest.
Really? Do you have any stories on that?
Actually, he just likes money. He actually does spend it, but he does love it. Yeah, he didn't want anything for money.
Well, we'll be giving a gal a call straight after this show, mate. We'll get you all that money saved from using solar batteries. I've actually got it installed in my home. They've been saving thousands of dollars for so many Aussie families back home. So thank you so much, Solar Battery Group, and thank you so much for sending us over to Vegas. Flano, let's get started.
Solar on my house. Yeah, I don't think I've got any.
You don't?
No, I might have to give him a call.
Oh, mate. See, doing your work for you guys. How's things, mate?
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's been a good couple of days. Settled in well. The boys had a bit of a blowout early in the week on Saturday night. Had some good training, and then to come to facilities like this, it's something you just don't get at home.
I think that's important, like giving the boys a bit of a loose leash first couple of days here in Vegas, don't you reckon?
Yeah, and they were good about it. They enjoyed it. Obviously, a lot of boys hadn't been to Vegas before, so it was a big eye-opener. But yeah, they had a good time, and then we jumped back into training on Sunday. And
beautiful.
Big day Monday, and then we're here today on Wednesday, so it's getting close.
Are you big on curfews?
No, not really.
Why?
I just think if you put too many boundaries around, they're young men, and they've got to, especially these days, they're responsible for their own careers, and you can probably tell which blokes are going to, you need to concentrate on. I'll use that word. But our boys were pretty good, real good actually.
And where were you training with your field sessions?
We're just down the road here, like it's not too far away. There's about 6 or 7 soccer fields.
Yep.
They're marked out to be as best they can for rugby league. It's not ideal. There's no posts, but one thing that we knew when we come here that everything wasn't going to be perfect, and we just needed to get on with it. You had to get on buses to go to training and come to the gym and get on another bus. It's not like being at home where you walk from your field to your gym, but it's Vegas and it's round one, so let's get on with it.
You just got to embrace that, right? You can't fight it because stuff's going to happen. We're in obviously a foreign country, party capital of the world, Vegas, so things aren't always going according to plan. How much preparation has gone into this trip?
Yeah, months, especially for our admin staff about travel, food, restaurants that we're going to go to. There's just so many different things, gyms, timing, and then working in with 5 other clubs. It's been pretty tricky, but the NRL's done a great job, and I think they've probably got better at it as time gone on. This is year 3?
Yeah, year 3. I think we've got 2 more years to go, maybe.
So it's done a great job, and I can't complain about one thing so far. Talking
on pre-season, what's been the biggest positives that you've noticed?
Probably our boys have. There's probably over the last 2 years I've given about 15 players their debut, and I probably had to get them ready to play NRL originally, but I feel over the pre-season we've got players ready to win rather than ready to play, and there's a big difference. Yourself, when you make your debut, you're always worried, am I good enough? Am I going to be able to handle it, the speed and so on, and you just want to get through the game and you don't actually go after it. I think I've got a lot of players now that know they can handle NRL, know they're good enough to play in it. Now they can go after it and make a difference. So they're not ready to play, they're ready to win.
So that's very important because, as you know, when we debut as players, all we're thinking about is getting that first game, right? We don't really have that long-term goal. We all want to win a premiership. That is the ultimate goal, ultimate team goal. But the first main priority is just to debut and just play footy. We're living the dream.
Yep.
How has it been to kind of really explain that to the boys? This is our main job. This is our main goal.
Yeah, a lot of them are really level-headed kids, or young men, and they've got a real focus on having a long NRL career, not just one game. And so the Couchmans, Hamish Stewart, Dill Egan, they're have long careers, 10-year careers, but we've got over that first year now. They've played, Hamish Stewart's played 10 games. It's only a pimple on his backside, really, compared to how many games he's going to play.
Of course.
It's been interesting, but they've all really jumped into pre-season training and ready to go.
I'm assuming that's been a priority for the club to retain all these gems coming through the system.
Yep, definitely. They're all tied up. Their best footy's well and truly in front of them. This year I expect to be better again from last year, but let's be really honest, some of them are 21.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of boys travelled that can't even go into the casinos because they're not 21 yet. So, when they're 23, 24, 25, that's going to be their best years, I think. So that's a little bit down the track, but doesn't mean we still can't win this year.
Of course. One player I want to talk about in particular is Loco.
Yep.
Big raps from the kid. Obviously, he's a big body. He's got a big presence on the footy field. He got a handful of footy games last year. What do you expect from him this year?
I expect a fair bit from Loco. Once again, he's one of those players that played 10 games last year in the front row. It's a tough gig, in the front row, and week in, week out, people are coming after you. You got to carry the ball. So I just feel that Loco, he'll build on what he learnt last year. He's a big body, and he's still growing, I feel.
Far out, that's scary.
Yeah, still growing, and he's match fitness and all that sort of stuff will come, and he's definitely one of those players that when's the front row mature, I'm not quite sure, but it wouldn't be not too many ones are pulling big games out at 19, 20, 21. Their best probably around 24, 25, 26. So we can't rush those kids.
Front row is the main position
for Loco.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, he's middle forward, front rower. He's not really a ball playing middle because he's a big man, and you don't want to take his strength is his size. Let's keep it.
I want to ask you about Keon, obviously coming to the club next year. Everyone wants to know the process involved of getting him down there, signing him.
Yep.
Tell me about that. We have to know.
Yeah, well, we just thought, I've done many of these over the years, meeting players and taking them to restaurants, here, there, everywhere, and their partners and having dinners and so on. We just thought we had to do something different and, show Keon what Wollongong's really about. It's and then we had an opportunity for our chairman to get the helicopter, and whether it worked or not, whether it was...
I think it did.
I think it was definitely part of the sell about the club, but also shows to me about how much, one, we wanted him and how much this club will go to get, a premiership down the track. So we're building for that, and that's what the club wants to do.
I'm sure you don't want to think too far ahead, but have you, got a position in mind for him to play?
He'll be one of our middle forwards. So whether it's 13, probably put 13 on his back, or 8 or 10, he's not too worried about that. Had a really good season this year, and I think his ability to play on an edge and ability to play in the middle is just another strength in what sort of player we're getting.
One of the many blessings to be a head coach is to offer players their debut.
Yep.
The most recent one is Setu. What can you tell us about him?
Well, when we did it, he played in a reserve grade grand final last year against the Dragons. So we got to see him pretty close there, and he scored a couple of tries. He had a really good year for the Warriors last year, and then we do a bit of research on him, and he's had a couple of false starts, to be honest. He went to Melbourne, he did his knee, and and then been up in the Queensland system and there for a bit. And when we come, from day one, he's just worked so hard. Everything we've asked of him, he's competed and competes really hard in training, in the gym and so on. And he's been a pleasure, an absolute, I don't know what you'd call it, but we've just polished up a player that's, I think, is going to be around for a bit. He reminds me a lot of Sione Katoa, the way he plays from the Sharks. Bounces around, hard to handle, competes really hard. So, he's 25, 26 now, so he's a late bloomer, but there's a real good story behind the man, and to give him his debut, he's so emotional about it. It was, they're the good days. Mate,
you mentioned story, and I've got to mention this. What a story, firstly. So he blacked out during a game at 8 years old and was banned from contact sports. He lost his mum to cancer at 12 and moved between family homes in Samoa. He moved to New Zealand at 15 after his older brother adopted and supported the family. He developed severe anxiety and would shake uncontrollably while playing. He didn't switch to rugby league until 18. He missed an NRL debut in 24 after tearing his MCL. He got a trainer trial deal, time away from his wife and daughters, chasing his dream. Witnessed the birth of his child via FaceTime during COVID, and thought Flanagan called him in to spray him. Instead, he was told he was debuting in Vegas.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a moment against Newcastle in the trial where he tried to offload and the ball went to ground and Newcastle scored, and he thought I was getting him in to talk about that, but I was calling him in to tell him about his debut. So, yeah, it's a great story. I just think that, someone to go through all of that, and he's been here since November without his family, his wife and his children. So, yeah, great story.
We see what it means to the players. What does it mean for a coach?
Yeah, you sit back, at some point and you look back at some of the boys that, like Wade Graham's and Gals and the influence you have on there, because I had them most of my career, or their careers, you sit back and you say, I'm really proud of being part of your career. Later in life you probably look back and say, hopefully Setu has a really good next part of his career, and you go, I was there at the start, so you're proud.
Let's speak about Gutho. We spoke a bit, probably a few weeks back, about maybe potentially moving him from fullback to a different position. I know that's not probably part of your first plan A, but if that was to come, where would you play him besides fullback? Yeah,
Gutho's really open to, if we were to get, say we secured another fullback, or we've got to look for the future as well. Gutho's getting at the back end of his career. He's open to move. He'll play lock, he'll play centre, he'll play wing. We haven't really gone down that path too much. But we know that, within 12, 18 months, we've got to start thinking about, Gutho's going to retire. He keeps telling us that he's got a couple more years in him, which if you look at his training, you couldn't argue he's one of the fittest, or the fittest in the club. So, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But, there's one eye on the future as well, but we're lucky to have him.
In the trials, we saw another gem come through, Cade Reed.
Yep.
People are screaming for him to be playing round one. And again, I can understand the excitement from the fans. End of the day, it's just a trial, but he's a young half coming through the ranks. It is a blessing. But how reluctant are you to play Cade a bit too early?
Yeah, well, everyone's got to understand that if I play Cade Reed against the Bulldogs, we're asking for it.
100%.
In a number of ways, one, so I've got to put the best team out there, and at the moment Cade's not in that. He's 72 or 74 kilos at the moment, and some players play it that way, but he's got to defend in the front line, and there's a kid on the other side, or a man on the other side called Keaon, who he's going to have to handle, and you've got to make sure that when you put players in, they're going to stay in. It's not in for 1 week, out for 1 week. And Cade hasn't played a lot of New South Wales Cup. I think he's played a few handful of games. So he'll get there. But, people have got to just trust me. My job is to coach the NRL side, and I'll put him in there as soon as he's ready. And when he goes in, he's got to stay there. So if he gets a chance this year, great. He's excelled everyone's expectation. We've signed him long term because we know he's going to be a long term player for us, but not too early.
I agree. Flano, I've been kind to you so far, but now we've got our exciting lightning round brought to you by Solar Battery Group. Mate, you've been involved with the Cronulla Sharks. You're now involved with the Dragons. Let's do a process of elimination from the premiership-winning side with the Dragons with the premiership-winning side, the Cronulla Sharks. So I'll basically give you the fullback, you pick your fullback, wingers all the way down the list for your best 17. Ready to go?
Oh,
yes, he is.
Wow.
Alrighty. All right. Fullback, Darius Boyd or Ben Barber?
Ben Barber.
Brett Morris or Sasai Feki?
Brett Morris.
Mark Gasnier or Jack Bird?
Gasnier.
Matt Cooper or Ricky Latelli?
Coops.
Jason Nightingale or Valentine Holmes?
Sorry, Jace, you miss out. Val.
Jamie Soward or James Maloney?
Wow, that's a tough one. Jamie Soward won a comp. James Maloney won a comp. Split hair. Jamie Soward.
You'll save a lot of headaches by picking him. Ben Hornby or Chad Townsend?
Ben Hornby.
Neville Costigan or Andrew Fafita?
Andrew Fafita.
Dean Young or Michael Ennis?
Wow, they're both sitting outside.
Be careful.
Yeah, no, I'll take one to start and one on the bench.
Michael Wayman or Matt Pryor?
Oh, both fantastic players.
Yeah.
Mick Wayman played for his country, Origin. I'll take Mick.
Bo Scott or Luke Lewis?
Oh, wow, it's getting harder.
It's not getting easier, mate.
I mightn't run into Bo Scott for a while, so I'm going Luke Lewis.
Ben Cray or Wade Graham?
Wow, that's even harder again.
I don't want to do this to you.
No, well, a lot of those boys, if I'm not picking them, they're on my bench. So I'm going Wade to start and Benny Cray to come off my bench.
Fair enough. Jeremy Smith or Paul Gallen?
Well, same again. Gal starts and captain, and Jeremy Smith. He was a great player for the Sharks and Dragons. He goes to the bench.
Okay. Nathan Feen or Gerard Bill?
Feensy was a good utility. So was Bealey. I'll go Feensy.
Okay. Trent Merrin or Chris Hyington?
Oh, I have to go Hino there. He was fantastic for us, a character around the club, a good player, played middle, could play edge at some stages.
Quality on and off the field. Matt Pryor or Sam Tagatese?
Didn't we have Matt Pryor against
We
someone
did.
else?
We did. We said, Jared Safi or Jackson Bakuya?
Jason Bikuya.
Okay. We said that Ben Cray would make your bench if you were to pick out of those two.
Some of those would jump on the bench for sure.
Beautiful.
That was tough. Hopefully no one watches that.
Mate, you're going to please everyone. That's all right. So that's the reality.
Yeah.
What player are you looking to have a breakout season this year for you?
I hope it's Luciano Lua, Hame Sele. Those two are like, we've got all the young ones, so a lot of the young ones could have breakout seasons because they've had a taste and they just go to another level. So it'd be nice to see some of them, but I'd really like to see two experienced players in Luch and Hame Sele. Luch has had a body transformation. He's lost a lot of weight. He had a real good pre-season. He's stronger. He's feeling better, looking better. So he's done everything to put himself in a position to have a good season. And then Hame just had so many different injuries, soft tissue injuries, and then he had the heart issue last year. And so he just needs to get some 10, 12 rounds of consistent footy, and he could have a breakout year for us as well.
The thing about Hame, he's just so powerful and fast twitch. Like he's obviously it's a great gift to have, but at the same time it puts you in a dangerous position when you're on the footy field, especially when fatigue's involved. What I want to ask you as well, when the fans see the Red V take the field, what do you want to see in them?
Every time they come watch the Red V, that they know we're a chance to win, we compete really hard. It's one of our mottos about care and compete. We care about the jersey, our past history, and present, and our fans and all that sort of stuff. And we compete. We compete really hard, harder than the opposition. And when we do that, we'll win more footy games than we lose.
Obviously, being a head coach to a son comes with its challenges and its blessings.
Yep.
I want to know the dynamic there. Like, how do you separate yourself from being a coach and also being a dad?
Yeah, it's tricky. When we're in this environment, footy environment, it's just, he's just another player type thing, and all the boys understand that. He doesn't get any favours. He's just got to toe the line, whatever. I treat all of them the same, and then I've got to make sure that at some point also that I remember I'm his father.
Yep.
So, sometimes, when media pressure or whatever gets to him, or his injury or whatever, then I've got to be that father, not the coach. So that's the tricky bit. But we've got a good relationship, and hopefully that, he has a really good year this year. Once again, he's trained really well, and he's ready to go.
I love that, mate. Last year, I know, as disappointing as it was, there was still a lot of positives, I thought. Yes, I thought you guys had a lot of effort in many of your games there. And I think on 9 occasions when you guys were leading, I think 4 of those games you got ran down. And I think 12 games were decided by 6 points. 6 or 8 points. So there's a lot of positives there. How do you close out those games?
Experience.
Yeah.
I think when you're 6 points ahead, or you said we led a lot of those games and got run down. That's the challenge. Is why did we get run down?
Yep.
Did we turn over possession? Did we not keep applying a pressure to the opposition? If you get 6 ahead, how do you make it 12?
Yep.
And I think that's senior players need to take us there. To turn a 6-0 lead into a 12-0 lead, and then all of a sudden 18 and the game's over. That's the Penrith. Their senior players stand up over the last couple of years. Once they got to 6, they kicked out to 12 through their senior players and the experienced players.
I think like most of the fans expect that it's the halves' job to kind of game manage and understand when to kind of, to strike in an attacking set or, to pull something out. But I think it's more an awareness for the whole team, like to understand moments of the game, understand momentum. Don't you reckon?
Yeah, I agree. You have a look at, you spoke about the Sharks. We used to, like, if we were leading by 6, a Paul Gallen or one of the experienced players would actually, get us out of trouble or lead us in the direction we wanted to go to. I look at the Broncos. They go to their, go to Payne and all those type of players. Sometimes they go to their class in their backs, but it's a tricky one. But you got to go to, those experienced players. The players get the big dollars to get you home. If you're leading by 6, we're going to go to Val, Sewer, Luch, and them to get us home with points. But then I suppose it's our halves getting the ball to them in the right position.
Mate, you're a premiership-winning coach. That 2016 premiership-winning season with Cronulla, what did you take out of that? What made you guys so special that year?
Connection. We were really connected. We knew what our strengths were. Every player knew each other's game really well. We didn't go out and try and change our game from week to week. We didn't have a real good start that year. I think we lost a couple, but then we won 15 in a row. Just everyone knew their strengths, and we didn't try to go at it. They got on really well. They pushed each other. So there was accountability, but I just sort of had to manage it, and those players did a really good job. A lot of senior players there. Different
club, different team, different DNA. Do you see whatever worked for you in 2016 to kind of bring it into this team now?
Yep, especially with Keon coming. We probably need, 1 to 2 more, maybe not experienced, but elite players, and that's what we're looking for. If we can get 1 or 2 more elite players into our club, whether it's experience or just a younger elite player coming through. I've got enough young kids in the club at the moment. We've got some experienced players in Cookie and Gutho. We've got some 100, 150 gamers in the middle there, and then, as I said, we've got those young ones. So it's not much different, but it's coming together.
Every club's active in the market. Are you guys going to be bit more aggressive in trying to get some players over?
Well, we bought that helicopter and it's ready to go again.
It's fueled up. You've got the helipad.
Yep.
You've got your high-performance center. You've got a helipad on top.
And that's a big thing, the new high-performance facilities. When we come back from Vegas, it's 2-3 weeks away. And, people say, every club's got a high-performance facility, but the Dragons have never been together. We've been split over that period of time. So, we'll have... The last one built is always the best one, so I'm really looking forward to moving in there, and hope that will hopefully attract players to the area and elite players on the back of Keon coming and us having a successful season this year.
My time's a luxury. I really appreciate you sitting down with me, Flatto. All the best this Saturday night, and enjoy the season.
Thanks, Josh. Been a pleasure.
Mate, likewise. And now, again, a big thank you to our good friends at Solar Battery Group for making this trip possible. Now, if you do need solar, please reach out to the guys. They will save you, I'm telling you, thousands of dollars off your electricity bill. It's the new wave, and you can do whatever you can to help the environment at the same time. So make sure to check them out. They handle all the paperwork, they handle the installation, and it's a quick, seamless process. Visit them at solarbatterygroup.com.au. Thanks again for watching.